stopped at a reproductive system in flowering plant, right? That's where we stopped. Okay, so I think we are going to have a kind of recap before we continue. Okay, so um, like I told you, in kingdom plantae, that the flowering plant is classified under what? Angiosperm, right? And you already know that angiosperm are those plants that can what? That can bear seeds, and their seeds are covered with what? Fruit, abi? Unlike the gymnosperm. The gymnosperm is what? Bears naked seed, right? So they don't bear flowers. That's what it means. So when we are talking about flowers, we are pinpointing at angiosperm. And remember that angiosperm is divided into how many divisions? How many of them? Two. The monocotyledonous plant and what? Okay, so that's where we stopped. So remember, like I told you, that the flowers signify what? Signify the reproductive system of an angiosperm. Now, like I told you, in the structure of, I don't know, some people are still talking. Biko, after my class, inwe ike gbawa asịrị gị ahụ. Do you understand? Please, shut up your mouth. So, like I said, that the flower is the reproductive what? Reproductive system of what? Angiosperm. And remember that the flower is divided into 4 floral what? Parts. Abi? The first one is called the calyx. The second one is called the what? Corolla, right? The third one is called what? The gynecium, and the last one is androecium. As God may have it, we will finish with this topic today, and we are going into cell. On your child reproduction, it's not going to work. So we'll continue. You have another biology teacher. I think he will be taking you in reproductive, all the systems. Do you understand? Let me face this part. Okay, so just like I said, we have 4 floral parts of a flower. The first one is the calyx. The second one is what? The corolla, right? The third one is the androecium. And the last one is what? The gynecium, right? So when you talk about the calyx is associated with sepals, abi? And what is the work of the sepal? To protect the flower during the budding stage. And when then I go put my note. Okay, the second one is that due to its greenish appearance, it can undergo the reaction of what? Photosynthesis. And you know the main purpose of photosynthesis? To produce sugar for energy what? Provision, abi? So we can still say that calyx actually helps the flower to get what? Energy, abi? Through photosynthesis. Now we talk about the corolla, where the corolla is collectively, it is known as what? The petals, abi? Do you already know what the petals is? It is the bright colored part of a flower, and also it's also scented, abi? So what is the work? It acts as a pollinator, abi? To attract what? Agents of pollination, right? Okay, that is what the corolla is all about. We move into the male part, which is called the what? Androecium. The male part is also called the stamen, right? And it is made up of the filament and the anther, right? Okay. So under the filament holds the anther, while the anther serves as a site for production of what? Of pollen what? Grains, abi? And you already know the pollen grain. Pollen grain is just like the sperm cell of human, right? Abi now? Okay, so then the female part of a flower is called the gynecium. And the gynecium can also be called the pistil or what? Or carpels, right? While the androecium can also be called what? The stamen, right? It is also called the stamen. Okay, so you already know the makeup of the gynecium. We have the stigma, we have the style, we have the ovary, and we have the ovule. Ovule is the female gamete of a flower, right? And the ovary contains the what? Or houses the ovule, right? Then we talk about the style that serve as a connective part between what? Stigma and what? And the what? And the ovary, right? Then the stigma helps to collect the pollen grain. Abi now? Okay. Then we discuss other parts of the flower, the pedicel and the receptacle before moving into terms in flowers. What is an incomplete flower? Again, now right now. Is a flower that flower what? Huh? Hey, you people are not talking to me. Oh. What is an incomplete flower? Some people are opening their mouths for the sake of opening mouths. An incomplete flower is a complete flower is a type of flower that has the complete four floral parts. Abi, then incomplete, one of the floral part is missing, right? Then what of perfect flower? Can we say that a perfect flower is a bisexual flower? Are you sure? Because a perfect flower is a flower that has the stamen and the pistil, right? Or we can say has the androecium or what? And gynoecium, right? An imperfect flower is known as what? Unicellular. Sorry, unisexual flower. Unisexual what? Flower, right? So we already know that imperfect flower has either the stamen or what? The pistil. I'm going to go a bit all in my class. That is a bube de log itself. The person have not allowed me to say Jack. Another sleep. I don't understand. Please don't sleep in my class. This time around, I will not ask you to not to sleep in my. The next one, I'll use my camera, capture you, and use you for sticker. I am serious, so you can enjoy your sleep. Enjoy your sleep. I'll come over there, capture you, and use you for sticker. Probably before I send it to 3 or 4 people, it will get to you. Can we continue? So we have a perfect flower and imperfect flower. And what is a solitary flower? That loves solitude. Don't worry, love solitude. Jesus Christ. If you can use this to remember, it's okay, but that's not the definition. What is a solitary flower? Eh? It's a lonely flower. So, a solitary flower is a what? A single flower born at the tip of a what? Plant branch. Abi? That is a solitary flower. Just like I explained, another part of the term is the terminal what? Flower. But there is a difference between a terminal flower and what? And a solitary flower. B? A terminal flower can be single flower or what? Group of what? Flower. Now, a group of flower with common stalk is what we call an inflorescence. Abi? Then the branch supporting an inflorescence is called peduncle. Abi, I mentioned all this, right? Okay. So then we move ahead to zygomorphic flower. Zygomorphic flower and zygomorphic flower, which is also an irregular what? Flower. An actinomorphic flower, which is also known as what? Regular flower. Abi, I mentioned all this, and we are going into another part. Just like we have inflorescent. Inflorescent is what? Is a group of flower with what? Common stalk. What if that flower lacks pedicel? You call the flower sessile flower. Number what is that now? 22. Sessile flower. Sessile flower. So it is a flower without a pedicel or flower stalk. It is a flower. It is a flower. It is a flower without a pedicel or flower stalk. Without a pedicel or flower stalk. Without a pedicel or what? Flower stalk. That is what sessile flower is. Okay. Then we go into number 23. 23. 23. Now, I want us to look at this. Remember what carpel means. Carpel always talk about what? Talk about the ovary, right? Have you heard of monocarpous flower? Monocarpous flower. Carpus is coming from the word what? Carpel. And carpel is associated with the female part of a flower, right? So when you have this type of flower, a type of flower that has one ovary, it is called monocarpous what? Flower. Do you understand? This is what we call what? Monocarpous flower. Monocarpous flower. Monocarpous flower. So the 23rd term, which is a monocarpous flower. Monocarpous flower. What is a monocarpous flower? It is a flower that has what? Single ovary, right? It's a type of flower that has single ovary. Then we go into polycarpous flower. Polycarpous flower. That should be our number 24. Polycarpous flower. Polycarpous flower. What is a polycarpous flower? A flower that has more than one what? Ovary. Do you understand? A flower that has more than one ovary. A flower that has more than one ovary is a polycarpous flower. So it is divided into two. It is divided into two. The apocarpous flower and syncarpous flower. We can write under polycarpous. It is divided into apocarpous flower. It is divided into apocarpous flower. Apocarpous flower. Apocarpous flower. And the syncarpous flower. Syncarpous flower. Now, a situation where you have this type of diagram, this is the stigma, this is the style, this is the ovary, and you have another one here, just like this. So, this is a polycarpous flower, right? But hello, listen, please. This is a polycarpous flower, but the ovaries are separated, right? They have different what? Ovary. What can we call that type of flower? It is called apocarpous what? Flower. A polycarpous flower with separate what? Ovaries. Do you understand? It is a polycarpous flower with separate what? Ovary. That is for the apocarpous flower. This is apocarpous. Apocarpous flower. So what of the one in this form? What do we call this? What do we call this? Syncarpous. Syncarpous flower. So, what is a syncarpous flower? A polycarpous flower with fused what? With fused ovaries. With fused what? Ovaries. I think you should write this one down. Okay? Okay, let's go move on. Let us move on. This is the 26th term. 27, please. Okay, let's move on. Let us move on. Monoecious plants. Monoecious plants. Monoecious. We are going to look at monoecious plants. And we are also going to look at dioecious. Dioecious. Excuse me, please. All right, let's continue. What is a monoecious plant? Now, please, I want to explain this very well because this is very confusing. What is mono? Mono is one, right? Now, what is sorry. Two, abi? Now, if you look at this, you'll be thinking it is just one, although it's a one plant, and this is two. So it means any plant that bears both male and female flower is what we call what? Monoecious what? Plant. But in dioecious plants, any plant that has, a plant with just male flower, the other one with what? Female flower is what we call what? Dioecious what? Plant. Do you understand what I just said now? Hey, Jesus. Monoecious, one plant now. That one plant has both male and female flower now. Then dioecious, how many? Two. Each of them has what? Different flower sex. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So a plant will have what? One plant, the same species. We have male flower. The other one we have what? Female flower. So without another plant, they cannot what? Pollinate. And in dioecious plants, they always undergo what we call cross-pollination. Do you understand? What is pollination, self? Of a flower. Okay. Let me ask you this. We have self-pollination and we have what? Cross-pollination. Let me ask you, if there is a transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, is it self or cross? Self. Are you sure? Okay. If there is a transfer of pollen grain from one anther of a flower to another stigma of another flower on the same plant, is it self or cross? Confusion, Abiago. Self, cross. Okay, let me repeat it. I said the transfer of pollen grain from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower on the same plant is called what? Hey. Nsogbu dịkwa na class a. Hey. You see the way Jambo said their question. You think it will be your normal thing you know. Okay, let me ask you this one before I answer that the middle one. The transfer of pollen grain from anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower of different plants of the same species is called what? Okay, Nkakunma very well. Okay, now let me tell you something. Since they are on the same branch, the same flower, that means they are genetically what? Similar, Abi? Abi now, the two flowers are genetically similar now, Abi? So the transfer of pollen grain from the anther here to another flower stigma is what we call what? Self-pollination. Do you understand? It is called what? Self-pollination. That's how JAMB asks you a question. I've seen a question like that. A green plant growing in a dead, decaying organic matter is called what? A green plant growing in a dead, decaying organic matter is called what? Hey, how? Dead, decaying organic matter. JAMB asks confusing question. I saw this in your past question. And as God may have it, most of you, in fact, 70% of you are going to choose what? Saprophyte. Igadia. Eh? Abi now, you feel it. You understand? A saprophyte does not have what? Chlorophyll now. That is one characteristic of a saprophyte. And they feed on what? Dead, decaying organic what? Matter. A green plant can also derive nutrients from what? Dead, decaying organic matter, Abi? But they can photosynthesize due to the green what? The green pigment now, Abi? So it's an autotroph, not a saprophyte. Okay. Oh. Autotroph now. Autotroph. Hello. Like I said, JAMB will not start asking you question that looks very simple. I'll continue to use JAMB because I don't understand them. If you look at their question, you know that yes. The truth is that the first thing to solve your problem is know who you are what facing. Before you go to a fight, you know who you are facing. If you don't know who you are facing, that means you have started what? Losing even before the match starts. Okay, so I've seen a question. They say that an enzyme, a digestive enzyme that can convert fat to carboxylic acid and glycerol is dash. Okay, these people helped us to put Tarlene. Is it the answer? These people were able to put erepsin. Is it the answer? They were able to show us lactase. Is it the answer? They were able to show us TFsin. Is it the answer? Okay. They were able to show. Okay, you people are waiting for me in this one, Abi. All of the above. I know. Questions, our method of answering questions, if you don't know all the options, you choose the one you don't know at all. Abi? Since you don't know CFC, that becomes the answer, Abi. Hi, Chineke. Hello. What is the answer now? Huh? Erepsin. Stiepsin. How? How is this Stiepsin? Huh? Another name for lipase. Are you sure? Okay. She is correct. Do you understand? Another name for lipase is Stiepsin. Yes, Stiepsin. They can actually confuse you again with amylase and what? Amylopsin. You see amylopsin is God forbid or Bokwifa. Because can't choose another one before I fail it. Even trypsinogen too. When you don't see trypsin and you are seeing trypsinogen is what? Trypsinogen is correct. Okay? Yes, I love biology very well. I always say this. Biology is sweet. It's something you can relate, Nabi. Not if if X went to this side, go to that side, find Y. Till today I'm old now. We've not find Y and X, have we? Yeah, we'll not find X and Y, right? Okay, so biology is sweet. It is something that happens around you. It's big. I love the name now. It is the name that makes you be a biology student. You know, when this government member are saying autocracy or whatever they are calling it, at least it's when someone is saying that I'm suffering from malaria, I say, oh, you have Plasmodium falciparum. You understand? Your family, that's the only thing you know in biology. Your parents are simba, yeah, you're doing what? Well, you understand? Biology is sweet. With the name self, if you can know the name and you are using the name around, I got Sonia, this person have something upstairs. You understand? You understand? Not I'm after teaching you biology and they are discussing something biological. You know, that's how people that don't know a particular topic. Hey, che. Che. Now, wow. You know that person don't even know anything in that context of what discussion. Okay, let's continue, please. Just know you need to work on every aspect of biology. The in-depth knowledge, you must know the in-depth what? Knowledge. You must know the in-depth knowledge very, very well. Okay? So if I have chance, we are going to do this. You tell me the topic you know very well, and then I will ask you question from there. You have 3 grace. Yes, to show me that topic you know it what? Very well. And do you know where I'm going to choose question? Where you jump and pass. Do you understand? So let's move on, please. Have you written dioecious plant? You already know what to write, Abby. Should I dictate? Hey. Huh? Monoecious, Abby? Plant. Now let's go into monoecious plant. It is a type of plant that has both the male and female flower. It is a type of plant that has both the male and female flower. It is a type of plant that has both the male and female flower. It's a type of plant that has both the male and female what? Flower. Then the next one is dioecious. A particular plant is said to be dioecious. Right, please. A particular plant is said to be dioecious. A particular plant is said to be dioecious when the male and the female flower are situated at different individual plants. Are situated at different individual what? Plants. Situated at different individual what? Plants. Okay, let's move ahead. We are going into 29. Yes, I am. We are reaching 30 terms in flowers. Okay, in flowers. So 29. We are going to be talking about protogynous flower. Protogynous flower. We are going to also look at protandrous flower. We are also going to look at homogynous flower. We're still going to look at cleistogamous flower. Cleistogamous flower. I think this one will end the terms in flower. So go and read it up. Now, Now, most times, the terminologies in biology seems to be the same, right? Now, we are going into protandrous flower, protogynous flower, sorry, and protandrous what? Flower. Now, a flower is said to be protogynous when the stigma mature before the what? Anther. Do you understand? So when the stigma is maturing before the anther, or probably after the stigma must have matured to have reached its full maturity, the anther start what? Growing. That is what we call what? Protogynous what? Flower. Now, what of protandrous flower? Is the opposite, where the anther mature before the what? Stigma. You understand? Now, this thing is confusing because now everybody will forget about it. Now, how do you know? Most times, like I said, biology is simple if you can help yourself use hint to remember whatever you have read. Now, how do I know that this one is anther matured before the what? Stigma, right? I remember what? A here. A is the first letter of anther, right? That is how I associate it. Another one, even if I don't want to use this, guy, you know women, they like associating umwoke with their problem. Guy, Abi now, menses, is there no men there? Men is there, right? Even gynecologist, guy is inside. So whenever I see this guy, remember what? Ours, and we know it is a female own. So protogynous flower is a what? A flower that the stigma mature before the what? The anther. While the protandrous flower is a type of flower where the anther mature before the what? Stigma. Can we write, please? Should I dictate? All right. Okay. Protogynous flower. Protogynous flower, shoulder heading. It is a type of flower. It is a type of flower where the stigma. It is a type of flower where the stigma. It is a type of flower where the stigma mature before the anther. Where the stigma mature before the anther. Then let's go to the number 30. Protandrous flower. Protandrous flower. Protandrous flower. Protandrous flower. Protandrous flower. Now, what is a protandrous flower? It is a type of flower where the anther mature before the what? The stigma. Where the anther mature before the stigma. Where the anther mature before the stigma. Where the anther mature before the stigma. Let's go into homogynous flower. Homogynous flower. What is a homogynous flower? Now, you already know that there are some flower where the anther mature before the stigma, and some where the stigma mature before the anther. But there are some flower that as the anther is growing, the stigma is also what? Growing. So they come to full maturity at the same what? Time. That type of flower is called what? Homogynous flower. Can we write? You already know what to write. It is a type of flower where the anther and stigma mature at the same time. Mature or reaches its full maturation at the same time. At the same time. Homogynous flower. Homogynous flower. Homogynous flower. Are we good to go? Homogynous flower. What is a cleistogamous flower? Cleistogamous flower. Let's take that one. 32. Cleistogamous flower. CLOEIS